Hello Taurus, and welcome to your June 2016 General Tarot Card Read. Dee here along with my dear friend Miss Lucy.
Hello.
First off, we'd like to say thank you for all the wonderful comments that you guys have given us and the emails that we've received. We really appreciate your support, and we hope that we're turning around and helping you in the meantime. For those of you that are new to us, what we do is I do a read, Lucy does a read, and then we do a combined read together, keeping in mind that this is a general tarot card read. But with the 3 different reads, hopefully something will resonate with you. If for some reason it does not resonate with you, please look at your rising sign. I think it's important to do that for some people because it gives you a little bit more clarity. And sometimes you can use both reads at the same time, which is kind of interesting, especially if you, as a Taurus, maybe have a rising sign of a Capricorn. Look at the Capricorn video and it might give you a little bit more clarity for the month, because then in a way you're getting almost 6 reads instead of the 3. That being said, we also pulled 2 cards from your year in review for the month of June. And I would suggest that for some of you, you need to go back and look over that video. Maybe I should repost them again too. That way you guys can see them. But they're kind of important because that's what we're using for the tone of the whole year, because we were told to. And so far it's been uncanny how well it's fit with the other reads, because we pulled the other reads separate. We also have an oracle card. Sometimes we pull 2, sometimes we pull 3. This time we were told to only pull 1 for you. And we kind of look at the colors and everything for you. And for some reason I keep seeing red this month for you. So I don't think it's all a bad thing. I think it's just the color that I see for you. So with that being told, let's go ahead and start with Lucy's read first. The card that she pulled for the month
Is the Queen of Cups. Now the Queen of Cups indicates here that your emotions and your heart are fully engaged, either with yourself or someone that you care about deeply, someone that you love. So the message of this card is look to the needs of your heart. Don't neglect it. Don't push it aside right now. Focus on it for what you need to do. The caution here is not to smother someone with your affections. People need to make their own mistakes, live by their own rules, and yeah, you don't need to smother somebody with your love, okay? Then we have the Magician reading coming in. Now this indicates he looks very, very serious. So this is a serious situation or issue that you have, and you're fully engaged there. So he is acting in consort. He knows that his choices have consequences, or the person that knows that their choices have consequences. And this is a serious situation. So let's not mitigate that. So your choices that you make are important to you and to the people around you, the people you love, the people you work with even, okay? So be disciplined and responsible with the choices that you make. You can do what you need to do if you focus your will on what's at hand and use the tools that are available to you and at your disposal. Now the caution here is not to be too controlling or manipulative. Don't go to the dark side with it, which can be done, right? Now we have the Ace of Swords. Now the Ace of Swords is about your thought process. This is about your intellect, your intelligence, your rational mind. So the message here too, again, is to use your intellect. Use it rightly and wisely to help to see your world clearly, okay, realistically, and to communicate well with others, so that you can have a happy and balanced and healthy reality. The caution here is, again, don't go to the dark side with it. Your words can cut, they can wound. So keep it to your advantage and the advantage of the people around you. Be your best in that. Now the Four of Wands indicates a contented, fulfilled achievement here. As you can see, they're all standing together, so that means that they have worked for this, all of them, the husband, the wife, the family, business associates, whichever realm this in your life this attains to or pertains to. It indicates that you are happy with your achievements, that you have cooperated with other people to get where you are right now. And so the caution here is don't downgrade what you have. Don't pick it to pieces or pick it apart. You have achieved much. Be happy about it. Enjoy it. Okay? Don't say, oh, but I could have done this and this would have been better. Or I could have done this and this would have. That's not the time right now for critique. The time now is to enjoy. So enjoy your achievements. Now the Hierophant is all about doctrine. Doesn't matter what kind. Oh, the Hermit. Sorry. Wrong one. The Hermit here is about taking a time, stepping back, taking introspection here, taking the time to do that. Sit back, meditate, whatever. You don't have to be away from people to do this. It's clarity of thought. It's looking into yourself to see if you're where you want to be, kind of, okay? It's taking a check-in, say self-check, if you want to call it that. Say, okay, this is where I want to be. How am I doing? You know, that kind of thing. So take your reflection or introspection and go with what you come up with. Okay, if you're saying to yourself, gosh, okay, I'm happy about this, but I could have done a little bit better. It's okay. Do a little bit better the next time. Okay? Now, the King of Wands. Make sure I've got that one right.
You do.
The King of Wands is masculine energy. So we're going to go with the personalities here, okay? So strong-willed individual, determined, focused, even you could say driven. It can be male, can be female, either one, but it is a strong energy in this. The negative aspects of this personality is that they could be rash, quick-tempered, or even hot-tempered, a little selfish, and a little arrogant. Because, I mean, it comes along with it. I mean, look at, he's well-dressed, well-groomed. He's sitting on a throne, for goodness sake. So the message here is when you're fully engaged, when your attention is fully engaged in some activity or a project or whatever, the caution here is don't be so focused, don't be so driven by it that you neglect to take advice that is given. Okay? It could be beneficial. You never know. And also another caution here is that everyone makes mistakes. Even you. And don't think that you're always right. We're not always right. There is room for movement in everybody. It's the flow that keeps you going. Okay.
You know, the Hermit too, which is kind of interesting. I almost like heard that somebody needs to take some time and say no and spend the time for yourself.
Yeah,
You
it
need
is.
to do that.
Yeah.
Say no. Don't be afraid to say no. I mean, you've got the celebration of the Four of Wands.
Back off a little bit. Take a little downtime. Yeah. You've got a lot of energy in this read here. I mean, even though you're leading in with the heart, the Magician comes right after, and that is important decisions. That is a lot of energy going through there. There's things you have to do. And then, of course, the Ace means that there are more decisions that need to be made because you're using your intellect here. Your thought process to come into play here. So that usually means that you're considering something, considering one move against another or one decision over another. And then you have your achievements there, which come after all of this energy. Mm-hmm. So a little downtime is not necessarily a bad thing. And it doesn't have to be days. It could be a few minutes here and there during the day, or it could be a few hours, whatever is needed. And then you have your masculine energy coming in at the end with going for another attention grabber and fully engaged and going out there and just gung-hoing it.
thing I like
But,
about this card
yeah.
too is the throne is up in the sky.
Yeah,
He's able to look down
Yeah.
upon it all in his
I know,
creative
but
process.
again, that can lead looking down upon it all.
And looking down upon people, which you don't want
Yes,
to do either.
that could lead to arrogance. So the caution there is, yes, you are fully engaged. Yes, you can do what you need to do. Yes, you know what you're doing. You don't have to trample people to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You, yeah, you know, honey, not vinegar. Okay,
Yeah, no kidding. Good.
a
Okay.
little bit there anyway.
Just listening.
Yeah.
So now we'll go to my read. My read for the month was let in with the death card. Now, a lot of people go dun 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 and get kind of nervous when they see this. But for this particular month for you guys, I really think that it's a transformation month for you. It's an end of a cycle. And for some of you, I feel that there's even a couple people that this has been a years for you. This has been a buildup for years. And you're going to have a lot of resolve this month. It's going to bring you into a new phase of life. And the thing to look at with this card is that behind him, there's a new beginning and a new dawn. Death is just the doorway into that new. And sometimes it's not a physical, literal death. It's just a death to what we've been going through, a death, an ending of a cycle.
It's a major change.
Yeah. So for this month, I feel that for a lot of you, this is going to be a major changing of a month for you, which is good. You've needed it. So the first card I received was the Five of Wands. Now this talks about strife. It talks about confusion. It talks about confrontation. And if you see these four wands are surrounded by surrounding this one wand. And it's almost like there's too many hands in the pot. There's too much stuff going on with the people around you. So this, I believe, is kind of a warning that for some of you, you may be feeling a lot of confrontation in your life right now, but just for you to kind of stand back, take it in stride, let it kind of roll off of you. Because the next card that I pulled was the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is about making a decision in your life, taking it up and going forward. It's like an exploration, it's planning, it's daydreaming about the future. And I really think with this end of the cycle for you guys, you're going to be looking toward the future. In fact, at times it might even cause some strife and conflict because you may need to do what you need to do for yourself and not follow what other people want. So don't be afraid to stand your ground, but don't become belligerent about it and get to where you're constantly in confrontation with people.
Be diplomatic. You can be diplomatic and get what you want to.
Yeah. Listen to, these are creative ideas and different things that you want to see in your life and different goals that you have. Maybe some of you have already made your mind up as to what you're wanting to do in these next few months. Some of you need to pick up that wand and decide what you're doing, but don't be afraid of the new ideas that may come your way. If it's a little bit different than what you're used to, explore it. Explore the possibilities. It's going to be a good thing for you. Again, it might be a little different than your norm and people may confront you about it, but sometimes it's good to have that change up. The next card I received is the Devil. Now this is almost like fear and confusion. It talks about our base instincts and becoming a slave to them in a way. And this talks about abandoning addiction. It talks about how there's change that's required. And it might be in some of your habits of maybe drinking or maybe spending money when you're not supposed to and when you're too tight, or maybe even doing drugs for some of you. And right now you're being called to change. And I think that's part of that death. It's that old cycle. And when you do that, you have to put away the things that no longer serve you. And when you,
to the old
when you let your addictions rule you, this is bad because then it controls you and then you become the puppet to it and you not being the one that controls it. So this is talking about controlling, manipulation and things that are going on in your life. So really check yourself this month as to don't overspend, don't overdrink, don't overeat.
Lord.
Yeah. Don't become so obsessed with sex or whatever too that you're just, that's all you're thinking about. And it's going to, because if you become focused on that, like I said, it rules you, you don't rule it. And it's going to color and change a lot of what's going on for you for the month. So I see this as almost like a warning for you because you are moving from a new phase in your life and you don't want to carry this old habit with you. The next card that I pulled is the Ten of Cups. Now the Ten of Cups is about emotional fulfillment. It's stability. It's about proper stewardship of what you have and balance and harmony in your life when it comes to emotions and different things. And also the 10 is an end of a cycle. So for some of you, you may feel really fulfilled right now emotionally in your life. In fact, I see a lot of good things this month. I don't see a lot of emotion. I see a lot of creativity process and more inner work for you. But you doing this is actually going to bring harmony to your life, and you have a lot of good things going for you right now. So focus on that. Don't focus on your addictions as much, and start moving forward with your life. Then the last card I received is the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands is fire. She's about that creativity. She is somebody who enjoys the finer thing in life, but she has an intuitive insight and knowledge. And it's just trusting the beauty around her. And if you see, she's looking out into the distance. And she's holding on to what she has, but she's still looking out and looking forward. And I think it's kind of poignant on this one with the sunflower, because it's almost like a positive thing. And I think it's a good way to end up the month for a few of you. You might need to embody this type of a inner serenity and that intuitiveness that you got with you and move forward. Now you can also get to where you get too caught up in things, again, along with the king. And it can make you seem aloof at times too. But take the time to enjoy this transformation that's going on in your life, and do it with a lot of aplomb, as like the Queen of Wands would do. And just being grateful for what you have, and seeing the good in things in life. So now we're going to do the combined read. And this one's different. It's a totally different read than the two of ours, which is kind of funny because of the way that it marries up. So, yeah. So for this read for the month, it's the Queen of Cups and the Death, which is your new beginnings and stuff too. And I think that for some of you, it's going to be an emotional month, a lot of emotions and a lot of changes in your life. In fact, there's going to be even some end of relationships for you this month, and it's going to be a good thing though. I really feel that even though it might be hard for some of you, it's going to be a new phase of your life, and it's going to be where you're a little bit more in control of your emotions.
It is the needs of the heart is what the Queen stands for.
So this read is a lot about your emotions and a new cycle in your emotions and relationships. Then you have the Magician and the Five of Wands. It's almost like I see this man causing problems. Is that what you kind of... Or solving problems. It's almost like you have the resources available to you, and yet you're standing against all these other people, but yet you know who you are. So just keep that in mind. Don't be over controlling, because the Magician, he can go a little bit more prideful because of the fact that he knows what he's doing, and he can be almost haughty.
Yeah, manipulative.
Where he feels like he's above other people, and that alone can cause strife at times.
It can.
So you need to kind of be careful with this, but as you're dealing with these conflicts that are coming up this month, and again, this reads about emotions a lot more, you do have the resources available to you. Just make sure that you don't become prideful and make people confront you and cause fights because of that.
Be mindful of your choices and the consequences of those choices.
The Three of Wands and the Ace of Swords is a very interesting combination. The Ace of Swords is a new beginning when it comes to your thought process. And for some of you, with this being an emotional month and new beginnings, it's going to be a time for you to start thinking differently and looking at things a little bit differently. And this comes to your future planning too. And again, I keep getting emotions with this spread. It's very emotional.
It's about a happy, healthy, balanced life.
Yeah.
That's what the thought processes of the sword are for. You use those to create for yourself and the people around you a happy, balanced life.
And with the Three of Wands, it's about looking out to the future and your distance, and finding what you're going forward to and moving forward in your life. The next two cards, the Four of Wands with the Devil. The Four of Wands is about that marital bliss and that good things going on and enjoying abundance and contentment. But then you have it sandwiched with the Devil, and it's so funny because I see the man and the woman here, and then I see the man and the woman here. And I think that for some of you, your relationship has some addictions in it that you guys are being called to knock it off. It's affecting your home and your house because of this. And it's not just one of you, it's both of you. It's both the man and the woman that are in this relationship. And again, I get a man and a woman relationship. So I really think that you need to look at your life right now. And it's so funny because this is like the third take of doing this, because I really feel like something's grabbing my throat and not allowing me to talk. But I really think that for some of you, you need to really look at the addictions in your life. And I keep getting drugs. It's almost like an indulgence type of a thing. And it's affecting your relationship and it's affecting your children. And you really need to pull back from that, and you need to examine it and get you're going to check, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And yet this is coming to where it's going to cause problems with your home life, to the point where you're going to ruin it. You're not going to have this anymore, because this is going to become the key. So this is a warning for you. And you know who you are. The person that, in fact, I see there's two relationships that's going through this. And again, it's not just one above the other. And it's so easy to blame somebody else for this, Taurus, when you're just as much at fault as the other person. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about this month, because this is a month of new beginnings for you, and it's up to you whether or not you're going to do it.
The decisions you make.
And I'm shaking my mom finger at you, because you've got little ones that are involved in this that do not need to be a part of this, and you're going to drag them down with you, and that is not right. So check yourself before you wreck yourself, and don't have this anymore, because this is what you can have, and you don't need this, not at all. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to have to be strong about that. That's how it goes. For this next part of the read, this talks about taking that inner time to contemplate and look at your situation so that you can get to this. And it's like a flow.
Yep.
You know,
it is.
You need to take that time to contemplate your life so that you can get back to this point, having all these good things and an emotional satisfaction, and letting go of all these things that don't serve you anymore, and these addictions that you got where they're ruling your life, and it's going to destroy you. But take this time to really pull back. Really keep that in mind. Take the time to tell people no, to really contemplate the things that you're doing in your life so that you can get back to this point. It's so important for you. And again, sorry for the skipping in the video. This is bizarre how this has worked out. We all of a sudden ran out of storage on my phone, which is not right. There's a lot of energy coming from this where they're trying to make it so we don't talk to you guys. But this is important. It feels really heavy, and there's a reason. Then at the end of the month, we got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Now, the reason why I reversed it is because they're looking at each other. And again, this is about an emotional read. And I really think that this is a Queen of Wands and a King of Wands that are doing this to their family and the things that are going on. And it's time for you guys to really pull yourself together, know who you are, but to start working together, not opposite.
Yeah.
And for the king, you need to, and this can be a woman. Please do not get that wrong. Just because I've got a king and a queen in my hand doesn't mean that the roles can't be reversed.
That's right.
You can have a male that personifies the Queen of Wands, and you can have a female that personifies the King of Wands, or you can have two males, you can have two females. It's about the personification of them.
Not about the gender.
No.
No, not about the gender. It's about the personification, like she was saying. It's about the personality traits, all of that.
And you know, it's so funny because I keep seeing the King of Wands. He's looking at her to guide him. And she's looking away from him. And he looks haggard in this now. When I look at this, I see like the circles under his eyes. So the King of Wands is about that creative and knowing who he is, but there's almost like an uncertainty when it comes to this relationship. And because I don't see it like this, I see it like this, where he's really looking at her and she's not really looking at him as much. But that addiction is standing in the way because I keep seeing the devil underneath it. So whatever relationship this is, or if you are starting a relationship, be careful. Be very careful. Because this month is a lot about your emotional transformation and different things and good things that are supposed to come to you. But it's almost like you're being stopped. You feel like you're being stopped when it comes to your relationships, and you're tired and haggard. And you also feel at times that the person that you're with doesn't look at you and just looks away from you. And then it falls into the addictions and the cycle.
The slugs.
Yeah, it's not good. But this is a forewarned is forearmed, and I truly believe that with this. You have an opportunity to change this. It's going to take work. It's not something that's going to come easy. But you have clarity of thought. You have the tools available to you to get you out of this. And I keep pulling back
It'll
up
get
to
you
your
through
read.
it.
Yeah.
Out or through, whichever.
And I see
decision you
fighting.
make.
You know, I might end up the video with this spread again so you guys can look at it, because it's just very interesting how all these decisions with this combined spread you have to make are affecting your relationships. It's all about addiction and the things that you're wrapped up into where it's causing strife, but yet you have the tools available to you. Okay, Taurus, sorry for the choppy videos. We had to kind of literally piece it together for you because we got interrupted and some other stuff going on. So we're going to go ahead and do your oracle card right now. This was an oracle called cards pulled specifically for you, and Lucy's going to read it to you. It's called Listening.
It says, an open heart will hear the message. When this card appears, you're being reminded that there is a time to speak and a time to be silent. Now is an occasion for listening. Pay attention not only to what is being spoken, but also to what is not being said at the moment. For the deeper message is always obvious. Listen with your heart, not your ears, and you will find clarity. Receiving the listening card is a fortunate sign and ensures a greater understanding of your circumstances.
So with what we said, and if you have to, you know, use this time to rewind and listen to it again, this might be one you'll have to watch a couple times, Stars, because it's got so much information in it, especially, and it's almost like there's a specific read in there for a couple people, so keep that in mind. So if you're new to us, welcome. Kind of different here, but we hope maybe you found a home and a community.
Yep.
We really appreciate the people that are a part of our channel, though, and if you have any constructive criticism, feel free to go ahead and put it down in the comments or talk to us, send us an email. And if not, you know, if you like what you heard, go ahead and hit the like button. But we look forward to doing this for you guys, and we do this for you guys, not for us. We're actually very busy, but this is fun for us to do, and we hope that it helps people out there too.
Yes.
So with that being said, Taurus, have a wonderful June. Please keep in mind that you have a chance to change the things going on in your life right now, and it's new beginnings. It's a month of new beginnings for you.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. So in the meantime, walk in peace, light, and love, and we'll talk to you next month.
Bye-bye.